Good morning. I have some breaking news regarding a fire in the Bronx. We lost 12 people in the Bronx. A lot of people that don't know this is Miss J.J. Diamond, and the Bronx is my hometown. I grew up in the Bronx and Harlem, so my prayers go out to them. Today, I want to talk about fires, people. The Arctic air is very frigid and cold right now, and it's coming down our way to the East Coast. You have to be ready, people. Make sure you got your coats, your hats, if you have to go outside, get you some coffee, some hot chocolate, some tea to keep your insides warm. This weather will kill. A lot of us decide to stay inside, which is the best place to be. However, you cannot have your ovens on and go to sleep. You cannot use space heaters and go to sleep with them running. Put layers of clothes on and blankets and get in your bed. You have to be careful. Fires are no joke. I've been in a fire down in Jacksonville, Florida, 3 days before Christmas. I was going to the store to pick my daughter up some diapers, my oldest daughter, and I came back. My house was in flames, and it was it was like horror to me, especially right before Christmas. It had nothing to do with the cold, because I was in Florida. It was hot. It was 80 degrees. But fires happen all the time, and you have to be ready. You have to have an escape plan. You got to have fire extinguishers. You have to be ready. You have to learn the precautions to help you save your life and your children's life. Living in Maryland, they taught me so much. We had classes on fires and what to do to, pretty much take care of our families. We had fire marshals had the fire dog come out and teach our children as well. That's why I love Maryland so much. I'm sorry, y'all always talk about Maryland, but Maryland gets so much big up for me. I know they need to stop the killing. I just read the statistics for Maryland and New York. I need to slow it down. Killing so many people. Homicides. I need to get it together. However, I do say that Maryland does teach our people how to survive. If there's anyone out there that's listening and you live in the fields, in the country, find a shelter. You don't want to freeze to death. And I know you say, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm okay. I got a little fire. When you go to sleep, all your organs slow down. If there's anybody out there that's listening that's, because I know a lot of people, especially in Maryland, that live in the fields and in the bushes, and they just live outside. They have tents and, please go to a shelter for these last days. They say it's only going to last until January 9th, which is a long time. I believe that's like 11 days away. So y'all be careful, people go out and buy fire extinguishers. I'm big on fire extinguishers, people. I know they're expensive, but they save lives, Please do not go to sleep. My grandson, he went to sleep one day. He came in and I wasn't home, and he wanted to cook himself some food, and He decided to cook himself some food, but he was so tired, he laid down and went to sleep. Now, if you're that tired where you can lay down and go to sleep, then you're not that hungry. So just go to bed. The food is not going anywhere. You're not going to die overnight from not eating because your body feels hungry. If you're that tired where you're dozing off, don't cook. Just go to bed. Getting back to my grandson, God is always, with me, and I'm thankful. I was out working. I was a carrier for one of the carrier companies in Philadelphia, and I had went to pick up some stuff from the airport, and I had to take it from the airport all the way to Jersey. However, I got lost. I got lost, and I was driving around, and I was saying to myself, oh boy, I don't know where we're going, and I got to get back because this boy, he's left at home, And finally, we found the place, and I had wanted to stop and get the kids something to eat because I had two of mine with me. The other one is always running off somewhere, so I can't never say, hey, come on with me to work. He didn't want to go. He wanted to be with his friends. But my little one and not my oldest, but my oldest son, he came with me, and I said, okay, let's stop and get something to eat. But then something kept saying, that was God's voice whispering in my ear, go home, and I'm like, I'm going to stop and get something to eat. I'm hungry. But he said, go home. So I just got on that highway and I went home. Well, when I got home, I couldn't get in the door because he had the latch on the door, which, was like devastating because now I can't even get in the room, And I'm like, wake up. He was out of it. He was dead asleep, and I'm banging on the door. Finally, I go get some help to get the latch off the door. And when we got in there, the room was smoky. It was a mess. Because he was, he was cooking. And he was like, I'm sorry, I was tired. And I'm like, well, if you're that tired, go to sleep. You could have died in here by yourself, And these are the things that we need to teach our children, people, because they're going to become adults one day, or they're going to be, even though some of them are young and they get older, they turn teenagers, they want to stay in the house by themselves and they want to be independent and cook for themselves. But there's certain things that they need to know, And I want to use, like yesterday, I was cooking and I was frying some fish, and I turned the fryer off, and then I turned it back on so I could make some French fries for the kids. And I forgot to turn the thing off again. And, I'm walking. That's why I do a walkthrough, people. You always do a walkthrough, Sometimes I'd be so tired, but I'd be like, I have to do the walkthrough. And if, it's more than one person living in a house, whoever goes to bed last is supposed to do that walkthrough. You have to work together for your lives, people. You can't just assume because someone cooked earlier that they remembered to turn off something. They might have been in deep thought about something, or they may be just losing their mind. You never know. But you need to do a walkthrough. I have my daughter, my 15-year-old, he don't care. That's the one that almost burned up. But I even have my daughter trained, and she's 8 years old. Do the walkthrough. Check to make sure the stoves is off. Unplug things that don't really need to be plugged in. Make sure your door is locked. All your doors. Your front door, your back door. When you woke, that's one thing. But when you sleep, that's another. Make sure everything is secure before you go to sleep. And, people say to me, oh, Jackie, you're a worrier. It's not that I'm a worrier. I've been taught. And when you've been taught that this is the reason why you need to do something to save your life or save others' lives, you have to take heed to that, I hate to hear, people been in fire. Shout out to Jim Jones and his mom. His mom was just in a fire, and I had to give my love and prayers, out to them because I know what it's like, even though I wasn't in my house when the fire took place, but to come home and see my house in flames, it was devastating, and good thing my mama got out, because that could have been it for her, but she got out, thank God. We lost almost everything. The only thing we didn't lose was my daughter's Christmas gifts. And I said, wow, God, he puts his hands in things. Her Christmas gifts was in the closet, wrapped up. And I went in there after the fire put out. And I opened up the closet. Wow, because I bought a lot of stuff. And I said, now I got to try to get money up to get her more Christmas. And I opened up the door and none of her gifts were touched, so I was thankful. And it was already wrapped with, the wrapping paper. So it just had a little soot on it. I just had to wipe them down, and her gifts was untouched. So I was thankful, However, it's still devastating, just to see, my Christmas tree was wilting, I was watching it burn, So during these times, it was just terrible. Oh, and the reason why we had the fire was we lived in a trailer, and the people next door had a faulty propane. I guess it was propane, I believe. That's why I don't live in trailers. Everybody kept telling me up in Maryland, why you don't buy a trailer? Because you could pay for a trailer straight out. You got money. And I was saying, no, I'm not doing that. Because I experienced some things, But the people that live next door to us, how trailer parks at the trailer. Their gas, propane, whatever it was, it blew up. And when it blew up enough to catch a fire to our trailer, so that's why I would never live in a trailer. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, and I'm not knocking nobody, even though they got some beautiful trailers. I'm telling you, some of these trailers look better than homes. However, I just would never live in a trailer. I just can't do it, even though a fire could break out anywhere, but you try to prevent fires from breaking out, and you just got to be careful, people. You always got to be around that fire when you're cooking. Don't leave your kitchen, stay in the area, where you can smell if something is starting to burn. Like me, I have bad allergies, so my nose stays stopped up year round. So it's hard for me to smell unless I'm really up on it, So when I cook, I stay in the kitchen. I stay in the area in the living room, And another thing, people, y'all have to pay attention to is carbon monoxide. A lot of things give off carbon monoxide. Burning flame, period, gives off some type of fumes depending on what you are using to start the fire. Even with fireplaces, when you're burning fire and some of the wood and the stuff that you use to burn the wood is not treated properly, it can put off carbon monoxide. Your stove can put off carbon monoxide, so you have to watch that. Make sure you have fire extinguishers, fire detectors, and carbon monoxide detectors in your homes. It's very important, people. If your landlord don't put it there, you put it there. You can't worry about how the next man feels about your life. Just like I moved here to Charlotte, and I'm coming out of Maryland. In Maryland, every home has a fire extinguisher. That's just what it is, They train us and give us classes on fire. You know, I see these fire departments running like they crazy down here. They underpaid, you know what I mean? Because they work like Hebrew slaves, you know, every day, all you do is hit a fire department. And that's because they're not training their people. And I'm talking to y'all, Charlotte. Train your people about fire and we won't have this problem. You understand what I'm saying? Teach the city what to do. You know, we don't want to take y'all out of a job. No. But we don't want to see people dying because they didn't know what to do and how to do it to keep things safe. You know? That's why I love Maryland. You know, the mayors and stuff up there. You know, and I'm talking about Harford County. I'm not talking about Baltimore, y'all. It's two different places. Harford County was on it. They make sure they take care of their people, you know, and they try to teach them the right way to do things. You know, we don't drive around on our cell phones. We don't, you know, not put on seatbelts. You know, it's just not going down in Harford County, you know, and that's what I loved about them. They were very strict, and it was, here you go. And here I am, I'm up at 7:09, and guess what I hear? The fire department here in East Charlotte. I say all of these things to say, the stricter you are, sometimes it's good. You know, of course we don't want to live in a city where everything is an issue. However, some things should be an issue, you know, and people should be taught why it's an issue. You know, that's just the bottom line. Now, I'm going through an issue right now here in Charlotte, where all these apartments and condos, they have fireplaces, right, which has an open flame. And the HOAs is harassing me because I have a grill. Okay, that's on the outside that has open flame when you're using it. Now, fireplace is more prone to having a fire than a grill. Okay. Now I looked at Charlotte, North Carolina's their laws. And on their laws, it says no gas grills. Okay. So I said, okay, well, I don't have a gas grill. I have a regular charcoal grill. And then I live in a house with a fireplace, you know, which is basically the same. You know, now people don't know when you have a fireplace and you're burning wood, the buildup stays in the chimney or the ducts, okay, which can burn down a whole building, okay, versus a grill being on the balcony. You know, people are more safer with the grill on the balcony than a fireplace in their home. So, you know, they need to get their rules together and teach people. You know what I mean? If you're going to teach people about fires, you got to teach them about all of it. You can't teach them about half of it, people. And this goes out to Charlotte. You just can't do it. Okay? If y'all feel that having grills is a danger to people's health, then y'all need to take all the fireplaces out of all the houses and all the apartments. Okay? Because they're just as dangerous, if not more. Because when we have Arctic air that's coming down for 11 days and people are not trying to burn up their electric because they can't afford it, what you think they're going to do? They're going to use their fireplaces. Okay? And that's one of the reasons why a lot of these fires go on here in Charlotte. Okay? So people, y'all got to look at the fact of things. You know, the real to things. You can't say one thing and then say another. You know what I mean? It just don't work that way. You know, in law, you know, when you say one thing, you know, this is why I be trying to tell people when they write these rules, you can't put too many words in there, because you put too many words in there, the meaning to one thing X's out the meaning to something else. Okay, so you got to watch what you say, people. You got to watch what you write, people. Black and white don't lie. However, people always want to make a big deal about it, because they're afraid or whatever the case may be. But you're living in fear just having a fireplace. And they don't even know it. With the next person burning their fireplace, and if they have buildup in their ducts or their chimney, at any given time, the whole building can go. So you always got to be cautious, regardless of whatever. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, this is why one of the reasons why I like electric fireplaces, because when you go to bed, you can turn it right off, and it'll stop burning. With a regular fireplace, it don't stop burning. You got to make sure you stay up, or you use your fire extinguisher to put it out, because it may continue to burn. So, there's a lot of things that Charlotte got to get right. If you're going to do things, do it right. And I don't even want to talk about y'all people with y'all driving. Y'all is off the hook. But we ain't talking about driving today. We talking about fires, because my heart goes out to the Bronx. They're saying that they don't know why the fire started, but they do know there was space heaters and stuff like that in, because it's cold. So this is why I'm putting this out there today. I just feel bad, because like I said, I've been there. When I've been there, I touch base on something. If it's something that I haven't been through, sometimes I've been through stuff and I just won't talk about it. But if it's serious, where it takes lives, I'm going to talk about it. Another thing, people, do not lay down and smoke in your bed. That's another thing. Sit up if you're going to smoke in your bed. I know a lot of people, they're smokers and they like to smoke, but people be lazy. They want to lay down and smoke. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Yeah, we know that smoking is bad, but it's two things that smoking laying down can do to you. Okay. One, cigarettes relax you. The nicotine. A lot of people they want to believe, and I say it again, that nicotine makes your blood pressure go up. It's a lie, people. It's a myth. Nicotine has a relaxing, some type of relaxing agent in it. And once you get that nicotine, you will relax. Some people will relax and calm down. And if you're laying down already, it can actually put you to sleep. Okay? And that's how a lot of people, they eat, want to lay down, have niggitis, and they want to smoke a cigarette while they laying down. Next thing you know, they on fire. Do not lay down and smoke. Okay? And I'm going to tell you the second reason why you shouldn't lay down and smoke. Now, I told y'all, one is because you could be burning in the bed. Two, your lungs relax when you're laying down. So it's harder for the smoke to come out when you're laying down. So you're supposed to sit up. The same with eating, people. Like I have this habit where I get up in the middle of the night and I want to eat snacks. I wake up, be hungry, and I'm too lazy to get up and go fix something. Plus, I'm sleepy. So that's the thing. I'm sleepy, so I don't want to cook. Because if you're sleepy, you'll leave the food on burning and go back to bed. That could cause a fire. So I always have a snack, right by my bed. And if I get hungry in the middle of the night, I have a few cookies. They call me Cookie Bandit because I always got some cookies. I have me some cookies, a little bit of potato chips. But guess what? You cannot eat it laying down. I always suffer every morning when I get up in the middle of the night and I just need something on my belly and I'd be laying down eating these cookies. You know what it does to me? It gives me bad indigestion, and it hurts. So I pay for it. So, you know, I have to learn to, if I'm going to eat a snack in the middle of the night, I have to sit myself up so my food can go down to my intestines the way it needs to, and you know, do what it do, you know. And so I won't have all this pain in my chest the next morning. I got to take a Tums and some Atlanta and all that stuff. And I do it all the time. And I be saying to myself, girl, now you know you should have sat up and ate them cookies and them potato chips. But you were just so tired, you had to lay down, you know. So that's the second reason why we shouldn't lay down. Your body works slower when you're laying down, people. Because it's relaxed. You know, so when it's relaxed like that, certain things you just don't want to do. You know, you just want to sit up and let your body flow. You know, your blood flow, your lungs pump, your heart pump. You know, you just got to sit up, you know. And I've learned a lot with my stomach being bad, you know, to eat and not go right to bed, you know, because the next day I suffer, you know. So these are the things that we need to learn, you know, to take care of ourselves. You know, you're not doing this stuff for anybody else. You're doing it for you, you know, and your family, you know. And people, train your kids about fires. Shout out to Lawrence Orr, you know, they are starting to train the kids, and that's here in Charlotte. About fires, giving us fire papers where we could draw out a map to show like where we would go if a fire broke out. But see, I was already a step ahead of them because I come out of Maryland, so I was already taught. When I moved in this house, you know, I know every escape plan possible because that's what I was taught. You know, people call me crazy. I don't care. You call me crazy, but I'm gonna live because I'm not gonna be stupid to certain things. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all a little joke. Well, it's not a joke, but it's the truth. I was in Maryland. I was at work, and I was on the dock. You know, I was working for Frito-Lay, and I was on the dock, and I was putting my truck up, and I was talking to my boss. My big boss came downstairs. You know, you can't walk away from your big boss. You know, even though you're about to go home, you just can't walk away. So I was like, all right, you know, here he come, and I was like, hope he don't stop, but he did. And he's like, hey, Jackie, how you doing today? And I'm like, I'm okay, and you? And blah, blah, blah. Next thing we know, the whole dock shake. So, you know, being that, you know, we worked in trucks, I was thinking that one of the trucks backed up into the dock really hard, and that's why I shook. But wasn't nothing moving. We looking at the dock, wasn't nothing moving. And it happened again. And I was saying, what is that? And me and him looking at each other, he said, Jackie, I think that was an earthquake. And I said, huh? An earthquake? We ain't in California. He said, that felt like an earthquake. I know, I've been in one before. So I'm like, oh my God, an earthquake. So, you know, first thing I do is I call home, you know, and see if it happened there. And, you know, my significant other was like, yeah, the whole dresser shook. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, oh my God, I got to get to my family. So I call my mom, and she's up in New York, and she's like, yeah, it happened here too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I didn't know what the next move was, and I didn't know what was going to happen, if they was going to like move us. I've never been in a earthquake before, so I really didn't know what to expect. But I did know that I had all my kids' papers in a plastic container ready, you know, and I had that plastic container for the hurricanes, because, you know, with the water and stuff, you know, you don't want it to get wet, so I put it in, I had this big old Domino sugar container, and I put all our papers inside of, well, one of them Ziploc baggies inside the container, just in case, So I got home and I said, is everybody all right? I said, okay, I got our stuff. We got to go. This is all we need so people will know who we are, just in case something happens. And everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, she crazy. I said, no, I'm not crazy. I'm listening. I was trained. Maryland trained me to do this. Okay, so I won't be a Jane Doe, or, my kids won't be Jane Does and John Does, if something happened, or if they have to move us, like what would happen in New Orleans, people will know who we are. But, people think I'm crazy, but I just be cautious. It's about being cautious. If you know the information, utilize it. People, they have this theory of, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen. Yeah, okay. You believe that if you want to. You just never know when it's your time. So you gotta be ready. Nobody's saying live your life and worry. Just pay attention, people. That's all I'm asking, that y'all pay attention to what's going on and why. It saves lives. They don't, teach us this stuff on the news for us to be dummies. They just don't do that. I laugh at my grandson. He went to school, day before school ended for the holiday, and he left his coat in school. He think because he live in Charlotte, it's gonna be hot. So he don't need no coat. But now here go the Arctic air coming, and guess what? It ain't no school, and his coat is locked up in the school. And I told him, I said, well, where's your coat? He said, oh, Mama, I left it at the school. You left it at the school? Think, people. You never know what's coming at you. This is God's world. And what he say, go. So if he decide that he wanted to be cold, it's going to be cold. If he decide he wants some snow, it's going to be some snow. If he decide it's going to be hot, it's going to be hot. And we're thankful that we have the scientists to figure it out and let us know why and when, so we can prepare. So people remember, heat your home in the daytime while you woke. Put on layers and get in your bed. You got your blankets. You put on some sweatpants, some pajamas. I'm big on pajamas, y'all. I love pajamas. I have lots of pajama pants and pajama shirts. Big on pajamas. They may be ugly, for the woman. The men's always want us in sexy clothes. But, we'll shoot when it's cold. You put on them pajamas. I put on my pajamas and some socks and a robe. I got plenty of those too. I love my robes, and I get in my bed. You don't need all that heat anyway. That heat dries out your insides. You need enough heat to take you chill out the air. You drink you some warm tea before you go to bed. Even a hot toddy, people. I don't like to tell people to drink, but you can drink responsible. But yeah, you get you some brandy, put a capful in your tea, heat up your blood, some wine. Wine always heat up the blood. Have your glass of wine before you go to bed, and lay it down, Just try to keep them insides warm, That's the main thing. Just keeping them insides warm so that blood can continue to flow and them organs continue to work properly, Nobody's saying drink the whole bottle of wine, people, or the whole bottle of brandy. All you need is a cap full, and for the wine, all you need is a glass full, and sometimes you don't even need a glass full. Just drink enough to warm up that blood and go to bed, and that's how we'll get through this Arctic air. Do not go to bed with them electric heaters on. Do not go to bed with them ovens on. Heat your house during the day while you walking around. Turn off them boiling waters. New York is big on boiling water on the stove to put, heat in the house and, to keep it moist. Turn them pots off, people. Make sure you turn them off. When you're walking around, that's when you burn them. You run them. When you go into bed, turn it all off. Just wrap up good. Put on the clothes. Okay? If you don't have pajamas, put on spandex, sweatpants, whatever. Some socks. And get in your bed. Put your blankets on. And it even works when 2 or 3 people are in one bed to stay warm. Body heat always work, but we got to get through this cold without people burning up, or fires. And, we got to get through this. And people, when y'all cooking, that's another thing. Don't drink liquor. The thing with liquor is it can have an effect on you. And I notice a lot of people, they be getting drunk while they cooking they holiday dinners and stuff. And you see, we got one more holiday to get through, y'all, and this is New Year's. And this is when people is cooking them. They got the crock pots out, and they cooking black eyed peas, and they got the pressure cookers out, and they cooking chitlins, and I don't like chitlins, y'all, but it is what it is. You can't stop people from eating what they eat. However, people, do not drink while you're cooking. I know it's fun. You want to listen to music and drink and party and all of that stuff. Just hold off. Let the food get done. You cut off everything, and now you tear it up. Do what you do. But don't do it while you're cooking, because you sit down, you go to sleep. You know how many people had fires because they was cooking collard greens? Collard greens are burning down the damn house. Whether people know it or not. You leave that pot, the water get out of there, and burn up the kitchen. When y'all frying that kitchen, make sure y'all turn the stove down. Don't have the fire too high, because you want to cook it fast, because you want to eat, because you have been drinking liquor, and now you're hungry, and do all the cooking beforehand. Prep that stuff, people. And then you get drunk. That's the way you do it. There's been many a day, living with the people that I used to live with in New York, my family. They be cooking stuff and they be drunk and burning up the food, Like me, sometimes I gotta turn off the music, because I'll leave the kitchen and go dancing and forget I'm cooking. Because I love music. I hear music, everything stops. I'm like, oh, that's my song. Hold on, gotta do a 2-step. And next thing you know, I'm burning up the food. No. So now I've learned to turn off the radio while I'm cooking. I can't have it. I have it on while I'm cleaning the kitchen. But while I'm cooking, especially something that I'm cooking that's fast, I won't put the music on, because I don't want to be distracted. And that's the thing, distractions, people. It's not that we're slow or can't remember. We just have a lot of world distractions, and we don't want to be distracted from what we're doing, because it can actually cost you your life or your family's life, So just be careful, people. And I hope all of y'all go into 2018 safe and healthy, and for those that's not, our prayers go out to you. This is Miss J.J. Diamond, Jacqueline Richardson, Deja, whatever they call me. And I hope everyone have a safe 2018. Y'all be careful out there. I don't go out on New Year's Eve. That's just a thing that I used to when I was young, and then, when I got my family, and I said, nah, I'm not doing this no more. I stay indoors, with my family, and we bring New Year's in together. That's how we do. And then we bow down to God and give thanks for Him getting us through another year, healthy and, alive and safe, So that's what we do on New Year's. We stay indoors. We don't go watch Oh, yes, we do. I'm sorry. When I was in Maryland, I'm telling y'all a fib. When I was in Maryland, we did go out and watch the duck drop. I will say that. Yeah, Maryland brought me out. I'm sorry, y'all. Maryland brought me out. It's just the way they do it up there. You know, they do it big. And when I say they do it big, you know, we was in a small town, but, you know, they bring the people out and we have cocoa, we dance, you know, you don't have to worry about nothing because, you know, you got all the police out there, you got the, you know, and they're plain clothes, you know, because the fire department is out there. They have families too that live in the county. So, you know, they bring everybody out and, you know, we all safe because we know we got all of the guys out there that's going to help us if anything goes down, you know. So Maryland, yeah, I did go out in Maryland every New Year's. I did. And then I go home and then I give thanks to God, you know. Here in Charlotte, I stay home. In New York City, I stayed home. In Buffalo, when I was living up there, I went out one time. After that, I learned to stay home because bringing in the New Year's is supposed to be with your family. But that's the thing with in Maryland, I was always with my family. So my people was with me when that duck dropped and the next year came in, you know. So shout out to Maryland. I know y'all going to do it big again this year, Harford County. But I'm about to sign off, and I just wanted to give y'all some tips on how to be safe during this Arctic air that's coming down, and it's hitting us hard. You know, so be safe, dress warm, you know, make sure you have on long johns, people, you know, they still sell them. They look like pajamas now, but, you know, it is what it is. Put them on if you need it. You know, I'm a little bit further south, so it's not as cold as it is up north. But, y'all got to take care of yourselves, you know. Cocoa, coffee, tea, keep them insides warm. Brandy, my favorite was blackberry brandy. You know, put a little cap full of that in my tea, make me a hot toddy, and I sit back and just enjoy the cold, you know. So this is what we got to do to get through this, you know. But I'm signing out. Y'all take care. Have a happy New Year.